Hidden deep inside some of the most advanced electric vehicles, there's a powerful partnership at play. It's a team up that's solving one of the biggest challenges for EVs, and it involves a piece of tech you've probably never even heard of.
So let's start with a kind of provocative question. We all think of an EV's giant battery pack as its greatest strength, right? It's what gives it all that incredible range. But what if that very same component is also its biggest weakness, struggling with the simple demands of just driving? And that struggle is exactly what we need to look at first. Let's call it the battery's big challenge. We're going to dive into the hidden stress test your EV's battery goes through every single day. Okay, so you've got to think of your EV's battery like a world-class marathon runner. Seriously, it is packed with what's called high energy density, and it's built for one thing: endurance. Its whole job is to dish out a steady, consistent flow of power to get you hundreds of miles down the road. It's amazing at that. But here's where the problem kicks in. While that battery is a fantastic marathoner, it is a terrible sprinter. Every single time you floor it to merge onto the highway, you're asking it to do something it hates: deliver a sudden, massive burst of power. That puts an incredible amount of stress on the battery's chemistry, causing it to degrade and slowly killing its capacity. And that shortens the life of a very, very expensive part of your car. So, if the battery's the marathoner, who's going to handle the sprints? Well, allow me to introduce its perfect partner, the supercapacitor. A supercapacitor is a completely different kind of beast. It doesn't hold a ton of energy, nowhere near as much as a battery. But its superpower is, well, power. It can dump all of its energy in just a few seconds, and then it can recharge just as fast. It is a pure, unadulterated sprinter. And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. The battery has that high energy density for the long haul, but its power density is low. The supercapacitor, the exact opposite. But look at the lifespan. A battery can handle maybe a few thousand charge cycles before it really starts to degrade. A supercapacitor can do millions of them without even breaking a sweat. It's just incredible. All right, so you've got your marathoner and you got your sprinter. When you put them together on the same team, you get something called a hybrid energy storage system, or HESS. And this isn't about replacing the battery. Not at all. It's about making the battery better by giving it a ridiculously capable teammate. So how does this team work? Well, a smart computer acts like the coach, calling the plays. When you're just cruising along, the coach tells the battery, the marathoner, to handle the load. But the second you stomp on that accelerator, the coach sends in the sprinter, the supercapacitor, to deliver that intense, instant burst of power. And then when you hit the brakes, that super fast charging ability means the supercapacitor can just soak up all that regenerative braking energy, stuff that might otherwise just go to waste. And this is the most crucial part. The supercapacitor basically acts as a bodyguard for the battery. It takes all the hits. It handles all those high-stress, high-power jobs, protecting the main battery from those damaging peak currents. It lets each component do what it does best, and the result is a battery that lasts way longer and a car that performs a whole lot better. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But what does it actually mean for the car's efficiency? For you, the driver? Let's look at some of the hard data and see what kind of a performance boost we're really talking about. Get a load of this. In simulations that were designed to copy aggressive city driving, tons of stop and go, hard acceleration, researchers found an energy savings of 25.1%. Let that sink in for a second. That's a quarter of the energy, just saved. It translates directly into more range from the exact same charge. It's a massive gain. And here's that same data as a simple chart. The bar on the left, that's your standard EV. The one on the right, that's the EV with the supercapacitor sidekick. I mean, the difference is just stark. All that saved energy is what keeps your battery healthier for longer and gives you more miles on the road. So let's just boil it all down. What's in it for you? Well, first, your battery pack, the single most expensive component in your car, is going to last a lot longer. Second, you get acceleration that feels quicker, more snappy. Third, you capture way more of that free energy every time you brake. And finally, it all adds up to a more efficient car with more range, especially if you do a lot of city driving. The benefits are pretty clear, so what's next? Let's wrap this up by looking at the road ahead, because while there are still some hurdles, the potential for this technology is just incredible. Now, let's be realistic. It's not perfect yet. There are some trade-offs. Adding a supercapacitor system adds cost, it adds a bit of weight, and it makes the whole control system more complex.
These are real engineering challenges that companies are working hard to solve right now.
But the vision for the future? This is where it gets really, really cool. Experts are already imagining a time when supercapacitors aren't these bulky, separate boxes. Instead, they're talking about thin, flexible materials that are built right into the structure of the car itself. We're talking the doors, the roof, the floor panels. And that leaves us with one last, kind of mind-bending question. If you can weave energy storage into the very fabric of a vehicle, are we heading to a future where the line between a car's body and its power source just disappears? Could the car's actual structure become part of its battery? It's a powerful idea, and one that this amazing hybrid technology is bringing a little closer to reality.